Hey, it's live. It's alive. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been quite a while since I was on Friday morning live stream. As you can tell by all of the random detritus that surrounds me, I usually have all this out of the way. Um, so yeah, it's been a minute. March. March was the last time I was on a live stream. And the reasons for that are I'm currently moving house. And this little studio of mine, this little studio space, is going to be retired by me to someone else. And who knows if it's going to remain a studio. I hope it will. I hope the person that, buys this place and will have many good hours of music making or work or, something cool like I have. It was probably the best decision, one of the best decisions I've made in my professional life was to build a dedicated space to creativity and music making and, of course, live streams. And another reason I am not only late with my live streaming that I haven't done it for a while, but I am also late in, I usually start this at 10 o'clock, but it is now 20 past 10. And the reason for that is today I am I hope you will join me in looking at Tape 16, the new DAW that is setting the world on fire. Well, not really the internet world. I mean, people have love-hate relationships with these things. But the idea behind Tape 16 is it's an old school tape machine with 16 tracks. And you record directly to tape, although digital tape, it's not real tape. It doesn't cost you the same amount of money. But the process of music making goes back to the halcyon days of recording onto tape and the process that involves. And I think that's the real crux of the issue for people. So some people like it, some people don't like it. I'm coming at it from two angles. The first angle is the nostalgia of it. When I started recording and started songwriting, I had an old 4-track recorder and we made demos on it. And the first kind of glimpses into recording, that's what we did. And you do bounces. So you'd maybe record your guitars onto a track and then you'd bounce your guitar onto another track to free up a track for the next track. And they were only used as demos, really. Now, there's an aesthetic choice if you want to use this kind of style for releases and things like that. To be honest, I am still discovering the joys of Tape 16, so I haven't used it as much as I want. So I don't know if it's going to be quality enough to record with or release things. To record with, well, it's quality enough to record with for sure. So what was I saying? Yeah, the nostalgia of how I used to record, but also the other way to come at it is the workflow, the process, the idea of, you're not editing. It's not like wave editing where you just are looking at blocks on the screen and chopping them up and putting them in different places and having this kind of loop idea. It's much more about performances from start to finish, and that can involve imperfection, although it's not a prerequisite that everything that you record into it has to be imperfect. But it gives you a kind of a limitation, so there's a kind of a creative freedom through limitation. For bigger things, I don't know. I don't know if you could do a film score on it. Depends on what instrumentation you wanted to use or whatever. Anyway, these are my thoughts at the moment, and the reason I'm a little bit late starting this particular live stream is because I was trying to figure out all the back end of showing this DAW and doing it on a live stream and making sure it sounded all right. So I'll tell you how I have it set up so far. I have an Apollo Twin, and can I share that on my screen too? See, I got a new monitor, and some of the live stream sharing windows are a bit tricky. Because it's only me. As you know, it is me on my own doing these things. Anyway, this is tape 16, and I have a piano in the first track. And how I got there was you put on a plug-in, and here it is. That should be coming up on your screen right about now. Is it coming up, or is it refusing to show? Ah, yes, it is. Okay, so Crow Hill Vaults. Now, there is no MIDI editor on this. This is strictly your... it turns it into audio. So whatever your settings are, they're the ones you're going to commit to tape. I also have got an electric guitar. Hopefully you can hear that now. This is what I was talking about coming late. Okay, you can hear it. Yeah, sorry. I was doing a little bit of behind the scenes, making sure everything's coming through. So you can hear everything. If you can't hear anything, you can put it in the chat. This is rough and ready. It's been a while, so bear with me. So input, I'm going to bring in input 2, and here's my electric guitar. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to try and keep it somewhat simple. I'm running a Marshall Plexi, and I might change out for an acoustic guitar as well. But what I was thinking about doing was just laying down some random tracks just to play around with this. So it's not here's a challenge, I'm going to record a whole song in, what have we got, 35 minutes. I'm not going to do that. But it's a little introduction into how this process works. If you're curious about tape 16 and this way of recording. I realize I'm out of tune too. Did you know that the guitar is a transposing instrument? So I'm not going to, I know this is very full on martially kind of a sound, but I'm going to use it for a kind of a gentle kind of a spacey kind of idea. Nelson, good to see you too. ¿Qué pasó? How you doing, man? The tune-up blues. Another reason why it takes quite a while before you press record on tape 16. I keep calling it tape 16. It's, you know, it's just a tape recorder. Basically all it is. But it means that before you go to play anything, what you're going to play needs to be considered. You need to know what you're going to do. You need to prepare. If it's out of tune, it's out of tune forever. You can't fix it. There's no auto tune. There's no. So I am playing a guitar, by the way. You can't see it in the shot at the moment. It is really me. I've got a Strat Deluxe here for those guitar people. It is a Fender. If anybody has been paying attention to guitar stuff lately, Fender news is they're not being particularly nice at the moment. They have sent cease and desist letters about companies copying the body shape of a Stratocaster. Now, luckily, this is actually a legit Fender Stratocaster, but they actually are looking to destroy knockoffs. So, ironically, Fender, want to destroy guitars. It goes so against the ethos of music making, doesn't it? It really is, greedy corporate stuff. However, if Fender wants to sponsor me, let's talk. Anyway, let's play something. Let's get a little something we can build on. So what I'm thinking here is kind of a verse and a chorus. So I'm thinking about this in kind of songwritery mode. So can I have I too much gain coming in there? I'm not going to be overly hitting it. See, this is straight away. I'm already thinking it's like, okay, I can put a compressor on that later on and I can tame it down, but I can't because this is tape. So I need to put a compressor on it now. And that's where your whole mindset shifts. So a regular DAW, you're coming at it from a kind of a place of editing, I guess, whereas this is pre-production. This is pre-production in a box, and I suppose that's frustrating in a way, but also that's something that might be a little bit more work is probably going to give you a better result in the end. I think that's the general thing. So I put on LA2A. Yeah, okay, you can't see this, but I'm putting on a compressor. Because I want to play it quite. I don't want to dig in too much. into that headspace where you're like thinking about what is going into your signal chain, what is literally going to be recorded to tape. So what am I going to play with this stuff? So I'm going to mess around a little bit and come up with maybe 2 sections, and then I'm going to kind of flesh it out a little bit after that. What's that going to be? Yeah, I think that something like that is gonna work. So normally I would throw on a click track, but for the sake of expediency, it might be a word, possibly. I am just going to throw down this loose. I give myself a little bit of a count in, so I can kind of play along with it later on. But generally, it's just going to be, to use a posh term, rubato. And hopefully I can keep up with myself. I don't need to record this piano, so let's see how we go. Well, would you look at that? We already have a whole session in there already. Oh my goodness. Let's see. This is something I was not expecting, actually. So, what I didn't realize, and this is another, different DAW workflow, is I just presumed, I don't know why I presumed, but I assumed that I was just going to start another session like you would in any other DAW. But I guess we have to just be aware that you can only do one thing at a time on this, and that's literally the point. So let me rewind everything we have here. Let's have a listen, see what happened. Okay, so basically what I was doing there was like checking out if it's working or not. That's so cool. You just I assume if I hit erase, I can just erase all of my tracks. Yeah. Clean out removes each check and moves its WAV to trash. Okay. So you're committed. This DAW is the ultimate in just being committed to things. So the tape is now clear and you're ready to go again. So I guess from a recording and from a workflow point of view, you can definitely see the appeal here. This is a great thing about this is it will make performances that little bit more special, because you only really have one chance to do it. Now you can re-record, but it's the essence of capturing performance, and that has very much been lost in the kind of in newer DAWs and newer setups, because editing is so easy and things are so easy to manipulate after the fact, that when you do it, you don't really think about the perfect performance around it. It's like, it's kind of assembly line. You just do this and then this and then this, and then you'll fix it up later on and get the perfect product. Where this is more like taking a picture or a snapshot. And I suppose it goes into the wider question then of, I'm just going to start to ramble now, but it goes into the wider question of why you're making music in the first place. And I think that I think AI has a lot to do with how musicians are reacting to the process of making music, and it's why something like this is becoming appealing again, because the idea, who I was watching somebody talk about it, and they said that they thought that recorded music was going to be so good that it becomes a kind of just a product, and anybody's able to do it to any level. So the real value people are going to be able to find is people that can actually do these things for real in the moment, including imperfections. And I think there's a large group of musicians who are swaying more towards this kind of imperfection and capturing reality. Yeah, I can't believe it's like, I mean, it sounds very grand, very kind of, that's a bit too much for a Friday morning, isn't it? Anyway, everything is gone off the tape. Let's have a look at re-recording this new part just for fun. Okay, that should give it enough. That's so satisfying. Do you hear that little... Okay, so we still have a piano here. But what I might do is I might just change the plugin to, instead of a piano, let's just put a little bit of... not bass. Actually, that's the wrong channel, isn't it? That's just stuck there. What I'm looking for here is kind of like a keys kind of a sound. If I have one lying around, I don't want an orchestra. I do have some synthesizers though, so that might do the job. If anyone knows, so whenever you open up a Dropbox of UAD plugins, if anyone knows how to get rid of all the ones that you don't own, because there's so many here that I don't own, let me know, because it's really frustrating, because you're trying to go down through reams and reams of menus, and that's really annoying. So Does anyone know how to do that? Let me know. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the comments. And this is the type of thing that I know what I'm looking for, and I've forgotten the name of it. And once I find it, I'll go, oh yeah, it was that. Here it is. It's the, not the Mini Moog, the Opal. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on your screen. This is totally over the top, not what we're looking for, but I'm looking for a Holly kind of a pluck maybe. So it's this kind of idea. And again, you know, you could spend a long time getting your sound just right. I'll put my guitar away. And see what we can get here. So that's where we can really use a click. Okay, those U audio synths are just the business, aren't they? They're so good. There's our cool backwards tape sound. Love it. I think what I like about this the most is that when you're using it, you're using your ears more in like I'm quite a visual learner. And people that know me know that, like, because I wear glasses and I can't see very well and I'm colorblind. But I tend to learn instruments if I can see what somebody's doing on guitar, for example, I'll learn it much quicker than my ears. My ears are probably not as good as my eyes, in a weird kind of way. And within that, when I use DAWs, like Pro Tools and Logic, you're moving around blocks and you're looking at waveforms and you're chopping things up, and the music making process is different. Now, you could argue it's like, well, just use your ears. Just take 16 tracks of your DAW and do this with it. You don't need to get a new DAW to do that. But because of the interface of this, here are your tracks. Here's the tape. There's no editing window. You're using your ears to give you all the information that you need. I'm gonna do another take on this because once I discovered this low end down here. It's so good. Yeah, you know, I love it. No, I was just about to hit or there for record. I wonder will that work? No, there are no key commands. Okay, I'm sure there are key commands here. It says shortcuts. So what's record? Play, stop, record, or yeah. Why does that say listen now? Listen. Okay. No. Anyway, today is not for key commands. And I've only got 5 minutes left. So I'm going to jump over to Substack and do a little bit of live streaming there after this live stream. I have no links for it yet. Today was a bit of an impromptu return. I felt like I haven't been back live streaming in quite a while. And it's not at a place where I can keep it regular just for the moment. But I missed it. I missed you guys. And I wanted to come back and say hello. So let's record this and then we'll move on. Okay, that's pretty cool. I just realized that my monitors are on again, so you're probably getting a lot of back and forth there. Okay, let's have just a quick listen, and then I gotta go. It's just so satisfying, isn't it? it's just like, you know, it feels more tactile and feels more, I don't know, accessible in some ways. Anyway, that is tape 16. I think for songwriting and even for like, I mean, doing an album on this would be really cool. If in the right context and the right style. Will it take the place of other DAWs? I don't think so. I don't think that's the point of it. Because, you know, you're always going to need Pro Tools and you're always going to need Logic for whatever different jobs you're going to be doing. But I think this particular DAW will really help if you're kind of more into songwriting or if your workflow, if you're looking to challenge yourself, or if you're a nostalgic person who wants to just go back in time to archaic recording methods. Anyway, let me know. That's all I got for today. When my live streams are back up and running in my new studio, which will be, it's a few months away yet, but I will be having a new studio space soon. But yeah, hit me up in the comments. Say hello. Do you like tape 16? Is it something that you like using? Gotta say, I really